Hey everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. It's your girl, Krissy Cela, and in today's YouTube video is one that has been highly requested, but also one that I feel like you're gonna find really beneficial. 5 reasons to why your glutes are not growing, and I really hope this video is helpful. And if it is, leave a thumbs up because it does go a long way, and comment down below the tip that you found most valuable. In order to grow your glutes, you have to have a good mixture of compound moves but also isolation moves. There's a huge misconception that you only should focus on compound moves for maximum growth, but I can assure you as well, the accessories, the isolations, the burnouts, or whatever you want to call it, are just as important. The reason being is your glutes are comprised of 3 main muscles, the maximus, the minimus, and the medius. So if you're just focusing on compound moves, you're not going to be targeting certain areas that require for you to grow the maximum capacity of your glute. Yes, compounds allow you to progressively overload more because you have more muscles and you're using multiple joints and multiple muscles to lift the weight, but you also need to focus on your accessories and isolation moves to hit other areas of your glute. So for example, the glute maximus requires something like a hip thrust or a hinge movement such as an RDL. Something like the glute medius, you want to focus on a reverse lunge or a kickback, a medius focus kickback. Something like a glute minimus, you want to focus on a fire hydrant, for example. But I'll list other exercises on the screen to help you along the way. Tip number 2 is, I want you to use the same movement but apply different variations to it. I'm gonna break it down to you, make it super simple. Let's take a hip thrust, for example. A hip thrust is a hip thrust, but it's how you apply a hip thrust that's gonna help you fire up your muscles in a different kind of way. By the way, I'm using an analogy that's gonna help you understand things better. When I mean fire up muscles, I mean adding tension to your muscles and resistance. For example, you can use a hip thrust with a full range of motion, but you can also do a CAS hip thrust. You can also do a pulse hip thrust. This is gonna help you feel the movement in a completely different way. Same thing with a reverse lunge. You can add an elevation, you can add a deficit, you can add a pulse, you can do a double reverse lunge. The reason being is because you're testing tension in a different way. So your muscle's gonna feel it in a different way. And I hate to use this term, but I think it makes it more simple for you and everyone to understand. But it's really just manipulating your muscles in a different way. Because if you're always used to the same movement, even if you are progressive overloading, there's only so much weight you can lift when it comes to progressive overloading with weights. So by doing different variations with the same exercise, you can help your muscles work in a different complexity. Number 3 is my favorite point and something that I always want you to do with anything that you do, even in your life, and that is progressive overloading. It does not matter how many times you go to the gym or how many times you work out, if you are not applying the principles of progressive overload, you are simply not going to see the results that you deserve to see. By the way, here is one of the videos I did on a simple guide to progressive overload. If you want to check that video out, I simplify everything. But in a nutshell, if you're going to the gym, let's say on week 1, and you're lifting 60 kg on a back squat. On week 2, I want you to apply either an additional rep or additional weight. I'm not saying to increase it from 60 to 70 kg, that's gonna be a really big increase. 1 to 1.5 kg of an increase is about right. Small increments make a really big difference. And remember, this is part of your fitness journey and this is part of a long-term sustainable journey. So you don't wanna go into the gym all guns blazing, ego lifting, and really messing up your form and potentially injuring yourself. Progressive overload also applies with volume. How much volume are you applying? How much intensity are you applying? How much stress are you applying to your muscles in order for them to regrow? Are you training near to failure? What is failure? We all hear this term, you should be training to failure in order to see the results that you deserve to see. But there's different types of failures. There's technical failure and there's absolute failure. And these are 2 different types of failures. Absolute failure is where you literally cannot physically do anymore. If I was to give you $1 million and say, you've got 1 more rep to do, you literally couldn't do it. That's absolute failure. And then there's technical failure, where it is becoming really difficult. It is becoming strenuous, but your form is starting to deplete a little bit, you feel fatigued, and it's really difficult to get to those last 2 reps. I want you to focus more on technical failure rather than absolute failure. And the reason being is because when you're only focusing on absolute failure, you're gonna deplete yourself so much that the recovery rate is gonna be actually much, much longer. So hitting legs 3 times a week will be virtually impossible if you're focusing solely on absolute failure. But if you're focusing on technical failure and those last 2 reps are becoming really difficult, but you still manage to do them, your recovery rate won't take as long and you can get back to the gym and smash legs again. So there's a complete difference. So I just want you to understand that. So my recommendation would be, if you are aiming to progress, if you are aiming to grow your glute, and let's say on the Evolve U app, I'm giving you rep ranges of 10 to 12. If you're comfortably doing 12 reps and it's not becoming a challenge, that's a great indication to increase the weight. If you are getting to rep 6 and things are getting really difficult, but you can still do 2 more reps, that's a good indication that that weight is a challenging weight and you are on technical failure. So I hope this tip helps you understand the difference, because I don't want you thinking that you should be really like burying yourself on the ground, burning yourself out, because that is not good for you and you need to recover in order for you to come back stronger in your next session. Final most important tip is rest and recovery. I was the girl that was doing legs every single day and wondering why I wasn't seeing progress. I was also the girl that was doing so many exercises per leg session that I honestly wasn't even getting to technical failure. I was absolutely so exhausted by exercise 2 that it got to the point where I actually wanted to leave the gym because I was just doing too much. There is a certain thing as doing too much and actually doing more damage than good. My recommendation is splitting your leg sessions between 2 to 3 sessions a week and focusing on dividing the exercises throughout those days. Or you can focus on doing just 2 leg days a week, dividing your exercises between 5 to 6 exercises per session, different rep ranges, different sets, or 3 sessions a week, which is what you'll find on the Strong Lower Body program. And then there you can do maybe less sets or less rep and focusing more on progressive overload with your weight. Different variations that you can do. But the fundamental basis is, please do not train your legs every single day. Rest, recover, replenish, come back stronger. So there you have it, my 5 top tips that I wish I knew sooner when I started growing my glutes out. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you wanting to grow your glutes, so don't feel any type of way about it. If it makes you feel good, go ahead and do it. I'm just happy you're moving your body. So if you found this video useful, or if it's information you've never heard before, leave a thumbs up and comment down below what you thought, and let me know what else you want me to talk about on this YouTube channel. Like always, I'm just here to help you, and I love you always and forever, and I'll see you next time for another video.